Hiya and welcome to the Teen Whisperer, the podcast for mums of girls who are often labelled as too much, too sensitive, too emotional and too different and just don't fit in. I'm Rach Friedley, fellow mum, coach and play specialist, and here's what I believe. Our girls definitely do not need fixing, and we don't need yet another list of strategies that make us feel like failures in our role as parents. The truth, behaviour is not a flaw. It's a signal from the body, and it's the body's way of asking for support without the words. This podcast is about listening, not controlling, connection, not correction, and giving you tools that actually work in the chaos of real everyday life or everyday real life. So if you're ready to stop second guessing, feel confident again and finally connect with your daughter at her level, you're in the right space. So keep listening.
If your teen rolls her eyes the second you mention sleep, says yeah, when you suggest going outside, or shuts down completely the moment you try to help, this episode is for you, because nothing I'm about to share requires her agreement, her enthusiasm, or her cooperation. And yeah, before you go, but it's a parenting podcast, Rach. What the frig? But this matters because a lot of our girls are being told what to do. I mean, think about it. Nursery, at school, college, a lot of the time, wherever they are being told what to do. They don't trust their own instincts. They don't trust their own autonomy. And therefore, they get stuck. So welcome back to the Teen Whisperer, the podcast for mums or girls, tweens, teens and young women who are walking that teeny-weeny line between caring deeply and not wanting yet another blow-up meltdown. I'm Rach Friedley and I help mums just like you understand what's underneath those behaviours, that resistance, that shut down or that don't talk to me behaviour, so you can stop pushing uphill and start working with the nervous system instead. And yes, I get it, I'm a mum too, which means I know how defeating it feels when you've done the reading, listened to the podcasts just like mine, tried the gentle approaches, and your daughter still refuses everything you suggest. So some girls are not mildly unmotivated, as we are told. They are oppositional, they are avoidant, they are dismissive, or they're completely checked out. They're stuck in freeze. And when you suggest something, anything, it feels like a power struggle, a threat to her autonomy, or another reminder that she's not doing enough. So she shuts it down. This isn't because you're doing it wrong, as we're told. It's because her nervous system is already overloaded. Think of that as a bucket. You fill it up with water, it's full of water. You add water to it, what's it going to do? It's going to overflow. That is what is going on in her nervous system. So why good advice makes things way worse. So here's the piece that gets regularly missed. When a nervous system feels controlled, criticised or overwhelmed, it resists input, even helpful input, even kind and caring input. It resists everything. So when you say, have you tried? Or you should, or this would help, her body hears you're failing, you're behind, you're not enough, and resistance spikes. Not because she's being stubborn, obnoxious, a pain in the ass, whatever words you want to use, but because her system is protecting herself from more harm. The shift we can talk about today is stop aiming for her behaviour. So this episode is not about getting her to go to bed earlier, get off her phone, go for a walk, do breath work. So of course all those things work, but today that's not the goal. The goal is to lower her overall threat within your house, because when that threat drops, her resistance softens, her capacity increases, and her behaviour follows later. I mean, I've talked about this before, about mirroring the behaviour that you want to see in your daughter. We need to do it ourselves as mum. So physiology still matters, but not how you think. So here's the key reframe. You don't introduce regulation to her, you introduce it around her. She does not need to participate for it to work. So if you mention sleep and she snaps at you, stop mentioning sleep. Instead, do things around her. So dim lights earlier, soften evenings, reduce stimulation in shared spaces. You're shaping the environment, not instructing your daughter. Nervous systems respond to cues, not lectures. And another thing, if she's in her room, say goodnight to her as you pass the room. You'll see her in the morning. Hope she sleeps well. Whatever you need to say, that's what you need to say. That's her cue for recognising that it's downtime. It's time to have that rest. It's time for her to put her screen down without telling her to do it. So if she refuses walks or activities, or point blank refuses to get out of bed, which is a bit like mine at the minute, you go outside. Yes, mums, we go outside. We move our body. We change the rhythm of the house. Because regulation is contagious. You becoming a steadier, more calmful person changes the system she is inside. That makes any sense. So you becoming steadier, you doing the work on yourself, so going outside, having the exercise, being out in nature, meeting with other people, changes the way she feels when she's within the house. As I say, mirroring the behaviour you want to see in your daughter. And then, of course, you've got the phone battles. We all know that get off your phone. You've been on it for way too long. But it doesn't work. Try shifting household routines. Try charging phones outside of bedrooms for yourself. So my phone is always in the kitchen. It never comes up to bed with me. And then modelling those boundaries without commentary. So yeah, I'm putting my screen down for the night. That's it. It's done. It's gone. It removes the power struggle. And yes, I get it. When she's in her room 24/7, it is harder. It's a lot harder. But you can still go in there and go, right, I'm going off to bed now. This is what I'm doing, or I'm going out for a walk, or I'm just having some lunch, or it's involving her in your routine, but not forcing her to do the routine. Do you get my drift? And then when we're doing breath work, we're doing breath work so we don't escalate. So we're taking that pause, we're taking that breath deep into your belly, so you're focusing your breath into your belly. It takes you out of fight or flight, takes you out of shallow breathing. Your regulated nervous system is the intervention, because once you're calmer, she can then see it's a more happy place to be in. You're no longer asking her to change. You're changing the conditions that make change possible. That is safety. That's nervous system support. That's leadership without control. At the end of the day, our girls have 3 basic needs: to be seen, to be heard, and to be valued. And they need to feel safe in their bodies. And if they don't feel safe, dysregulation kicks off. So you have fight, flight, freeze, or fall. You have that 24/7. You have cortisol on steroids, and it's literally pumping around their veins. That's why they can't sleep. That's why they can't do anything. That's why they can't motivate themselves. That's why everything is such a struggle. So what progress actually looks like with resistant girls, just like mine, progress is not about gratitude, it's not about compliance, and it's definitely not about enthusiasm. It looks like fewer explosions, shorter shutdowns, slightly less hostility, and moments of neutrality, because neutrality is a win. So if you're a mum who's thinking, but I've tried everything, Rach, I want to say this gently and clearly. You have not failed. You've been trying to fix behaviour instead of supporting her capacity, because that's what we're taught time and time again. We need to fix that behaviour. There's something wrong. They need a label. They need medicating. They need this. They need that. They need this. Instead of looking at the 3 basic needs, is she being seen? Is she being heard? And is she being valued? If none of those are applying to her, then she's going to feel dysregulated. She's going to be stuck in fight or flight, or freeze or fall, because that's just how the system is. This work is slower. It's quieter and way more effective for our resistant girls. You don't need to change her first. You need safety to increase, and that starts with you. Resistance is not the enemy, it's information. So if you're listening, thinking to this, I need support doing this because it's exhausting. I'm thinking 24/7 all the time, and I go from too much to too little, and I'm constantly waving backwards and forwards on this. I'm trying to think of what the word is. I don't know, but my hands are going backwards and forwards. Anyway, this is exactly why WTF exists. What's the feeling, by the way? Because it's not about strategies to make your teen comply with your rules and regulations. It's about helping you stay grounded enough to lead without breaking the relationship. You are so not doing this wrong. You're parenting a nervous system that says, enough! And you're allowed to need support too. It's a steady space for mums and girls who want to understand what's underneath the behaviour and feel less alone whilst they're doing it. We talk about topics like these in depth and how to work for your daughter. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you next week. Take care. Bye bye.